This here is the Suzuki eVitara, which over the next few weeks will be launched in the Indian market as the Maruti Suzuki eVitara. And keep in mind that this is a born electric vehicle. The interesting part is this is made in India and exported to the UK. And we are driving it here in the UK. And over the next few minutes, I'm going to be telling you a lot about its design, its cabin, its powertrain, performance, and what it's good at and what could be better. Now let's start off with the design of the eVitara first, and as you can see, it is unlike any other Maruti Suzuki car we have on sale right now. So like I said earlier, it's a born electric vehicle, so it's a completely new design. Up front you can see a lot of dynamic lines on the hood, and then again you'll see a lot of sharp creases and curves all around. Mostly it's about sharp cuts and creases. The LED DRLs again look pretty sharp and nice. They give the vehicle a nice accentuated width, and even the lower part of the bumper gives it a nice sporty feel. If you move towards the side, you'll see these nice looking 18-inch alloy wheels. Again, because it's an EV, so it gets the aero design to increase the efficiency by reducing the coefficient of drag. And on the side, you'll see a nice belt line, and there's not much of a slope as you go towards the back, but yes, you can see a bit of a slope. And there's the spoiler, and as you come towards the rear, you'll see these nicely designed tail lamps, which in terms of design philosophy is similar to what we've seen on the front DRLs. Clean design in terms of the tailgate, and as a result of this, the eVitara doesn't really come out as a polarizing design. It's easy on the eye, which will make it acceptable to most buyers in the Indian market, in my opinion. Now let's talk about the cabin of the eVitara. Now this is pretty much what you'll get even in the Indian spec. Yes, there could be some difference in terms of the color of the materials and the texture, but it's going to be almost the same. Now the dashboard design is really nice, nicely done, subtle, not something which is flashy and looks premium. The soft touch here, given the texture of the material, the air vents, all of it add to the premium quotient. Then you've got the screen here, which is a connected screen for the instrument cluster as well as the center screen. This one is not too large as we see on many of the modern EVs, not one of those massive screens, but it's functionally very efficient. Good touch response, nice clear readouts, a simple user interface. The digital instrument cluster, again, very easy to read out, customizable through this nice looking squarish steering wheel, which is also quite nice in terms of driving, feels nice to hold. And if you look at the overall material quality, I would say it's pretty decent. In some places, yes, the lower plastic could be a bit better, but the top part is quite nice. In terms of practicality, good space all around, the door pockets. Even if you look at the center console, the place here under the driver armrest, all of it has a lot of space. The seats are comfortable, headroom is nice at the front, side support on the seats is quite good. Even at the rear, you've got good amount of leg room, knee room. Even the seats at the back have a 40-20-20 split, which adds to the overall flexibility, along with a nicely sized boot. So when you add all of this, what you get is a car that is spacious, practical, has a good set of features. It's got wireless charging. Like I said, it comes with a nice touchscreen. It'll give you access to ADAS features, so it takes care of active safety features. It'll come with all required passive safety features, so it checks all the right boxes there. So in terms of cabin space, I think the designers have done a good job of balancing out everything. Nothing really stands out, nothing is overtly done in terms of design, but everything looks balanced and looks just the way it should be. Alright, so now on to the driving part, and as you would expect in UK, well, it's wet, it's dark, and yeah, that's proper British weather for us. But about the car, now we've been driving it in really damp conditions, so I won't be talking much about high speed handling or going through really hard curves. But the hardware first, let's get the numbers out of the way first, and that would be a 61 kilowatt hour battery. Of course, you can have it in India, you will be having the option of a smaller battery pack also, which will be a 49 kilowatt hour unit, and this one is the 61. Range, the claimed range is about 420 kilometers, so in terms of range I would say it would suffice for most of the urban usage. For almost the larger population, it would be enough for one charge per week. That should be enough for most people in cities like Delhi or Bombay. And power, 174 horsepower, 193 newton meters of torque, and it feels quick to drive. It's got different drive modes. Like I said earlier, it's wet, so we haven't really been able to push it, but yes, it does feel quite lively. It's got the get up and go. You get on the gas pedal and it immediately lunges forward, so it doesn't have any kind of slowness attached to it like you would expect from an EV. It's got all the torque deployed from the word go, and as a result of that, yeah, it's quite fun to drive. And whatever I've driven till now in terms of handling, because we've been driving on B roads around, not in London, not much on the motorways, on these twisty B roads, the car feels very composed. Even when you're going at about 70-80 kilometers an hour going through bends, it doesn't flinch. There's no nervousness in terms of the handling. The chassis is quite taut. The suspension is on the firmer side, understandably so, to compensate for the weight of the battery. But the good thing is that because of that, the inherent stability of the vehicle as a lower center of gravity is nice. So your straight line speed is good, and basically the straight line stability is quite nice. It feels planted. You get a lot of confidence in the vehicle. So overall, first driving impression, I think it's a nice vehicle to drive. It's not exactly the same spec as you would get it in India, but I think it's the closest that you will get it. UK-spec, India-spec. Of course, in India you might see a little bit of changes, maybe in terms of ground clearance, or some changes made to the suspension, a bit of changes to the overall the feature list. But I think on a scale more than 90 percentile, it's going to drive like this, and it's quite an impressive package. So in terms of power delivery, it's nice. It's got a good range. It feels good to drive. It's very stable. Even the visibility all around, it's got good visibility. Even the rear visibility is nice, which is very important for a market like ours. It just allows you to be more vigilant, especially in our country where we need to be defensive in terms of driving. So yes, in terms of packaging, I think Suzuki's got this right, and when Maruti gets it to India, Maruti Suzuki eVitara should come out to be as a good value for money package, as long as the brand is able to price it well. So that's going to be very important. But yes, initial driving impressions from the UK, quite impressive. Feels like a package that has been put together well, designed, engineered well, and works well. Exactly what you want from a platform that has been built from scratch to be an EV, and not an ICE platform converted to an EV with some compromises. So none of that stuff here. So at the end of the day, should you consider the Maruti Suzuki eVitara, which will be launched in some time, or not? Well, it definitely is a car that you should have on your radar. And the reason I say this is because on the face of it, it might not have a completely standout design. It doesn't have an interior that might look like a spaceship. And in terms of power or performance also, it doesn't really stand out as the fastest or the one that has the most range. But what it has and what works in its favor is the fact that it's balanced in every area. So it doesn't look radical. It's got a very nice, spacious, practical cabin. It's got all the features you need. Some of you might have noticed there's no sunroof in this car, but the one in India is expected to have a single pane sunroof, not a panoramic one. And of course, in terms of ride quality, expect some changes to the suspension, probably a little softer setup. But at the end of the day, like I said earlier, if priced well, this has all the ingredients to be a solid contender in its segment. Let us know, what do you think about this car in the comment section.